Welcome to Last Week in Warframe, a series where I keep you updated on the past week of Warframe by compiling all news, announcements, and general posts by the developers from the forums, Reddit, Twitter, and even their live streams. Timestamps to each topic as well as their sources are in the description, so without further ado, let's go over these announcements and news from the 6th of April to the 13th. Starting this week's episode off, DE Rebecca once again addressed the state of the past couple of updates by saying the following on one of the community streams.
Alright, I don't look tense, but I definitely should mention that everyone is definitely more tense right now. The past 4 weeks, we've all been working from home and trying to overcome obstacles other than hot fixes, which is usually the only, the only issue we have to deal with. We're working under a little different and more stressful conditions, and that's not just us. That's all of you watching, all of you at home. It's definitely not an easy time. We're seeing essential workers, getting a lot of love and praise, which we are absolutely participating in. We're seeing people hopefully staying home and social isolating. But given the tension, there's really nowhere more true right now for us in our little world than with Warframe. And I think for Warframe in the community, the tension gets worse if we don't acknowledge it. And I want to make it as clear as possible that we have had some really serious conversations internally about the disappointing first impressions, namely with the last three sort of headliner updates, the Old Blood, Railjack, and then the Scarlet Spear, as recently as 2 weeks ago. So on top of that, you're kind of looking at the Nightwave intermission too and seeing that every day it's another day that this intermission has gone on for too long. And I just want to make it as clear as possible that there's never a version of the dev team that's trying to release bad or disappointing content. There's only versions of us recovering from when we do. And we really appreciate you guys sticking around. We know that the bad first impression situation we're in is not healthy for the community or us as developers. And the conversations we've been having internally, which, tend to be pretty candid right now about everything that's going on, are the ones I think the community would be wanting us to have about Warframe's future updates and the plans for this year. So I just wanted to make sure that any of the tension you guys are feeling is addressed and not just sort of a ambient feeling, because it's certainly one that we do need to take responsibly in terms of the quality and everything that we're working on. So I appreciate that some people may be feeling more tense than usual right now, and rest assured that we are too, and we are very aware, and we're not in a situation where we want to ignore such tensions. And hopefully next dev stream on April 17th, we can talk a little bit more about that. So thank you, everyone. That was just a semi-prepared version of trying to encapsulate in a way that I think addresses that sort of tension between the community and what's going on with the state of the three headliner updates. So yeah, I think it had to be said. So much love.
For PC, a number of hotfixes were released, those being 27.3.9, where the only notable addition came in the form of the Lith N4 relic because it contains the Bronco Prime blueprint. There are a number of fixes and whatnot, and I do have videos on the channel covering all these hotfixes in full up on the channel if you do want to stay informed on all of those. In 27.3.10, the notable changes were that the Mirax Raid satellite must now be towed to its correct location before you can deploy the uplink, since this was causing some of the issues with the no kill code issue. The errorless canister mechanic now has a 10-second cooldown before the canisters refill after becoming stunned from destroying all of them. They also replaced the Atlas Prime blueprint with the Atlas Prime Systems blueprint in the Lith N4 relic. Fast traveling to Little Duck in Fortuna as your Warframe will no longer initiate the unskippable dialogue, and instead will place you next to her where you can switch to your operator and go from there. Lastly, in 27.3.11, they increased the Mirax Raid satellite's armor, made the Yucca Floof available in the market for 1 credit, and you can only have 1 per person. The rest, once again, I do have videos covering all the fixes and whatnot that came with those hotfixes, or they're linked in the description. Next up, DE gave us information about the April 2020 Riven Disposition updates, so all those disposition changes are available on the forum post, or if you want them read to you like usual, I have a video on that, and there is a card up on your screen that'll take you right to it. Getting to the end, for console players, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, Operation Scarlet Spear is live on your platforms until the 14th of May at 1:30 PM Eastern Time. You do have everything up to hotfix 27.3.9, but if you need all the information for your update, the patch notes, once again, like the rest of this video, is linked in the description. In response to a player asking for a new dash animation for Titania Prime, DE Rebecca replied saying, "Our team is working on something for this." Lastly, there was the Spring 2020 Featured Dojo contest announcement, so that is live if you do want to participate. All the rules are linked in the description. Also, in community stuff that I missed, Sabuuuchi did quit the partner program and he's taking a break from Warframe. Link in the description if you care about that. Anyway, that concludes this episode of Last Week in Warframe. If you found the video informative, make sure to leave a like. If you think I can improve upon the series in any way, shape, or form, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below. If you want the channel glyph, there are 5 codes per platform. They are one-time use, so if someone has already redeemed the code, you won't be able to get the glyph using that code. If you have feedback about my glyph acquisition, this is going to be added to the end of every Last Week in Warframe now. Comment section, give feedback down there. Let me know if you want me to change it, and let me know what you want me to change it to. I don't have access to the universal glyph because I'm about 30k subs off from that. And then if you missed last week's episode, there is an annotation on your screen. It'll take you right to it.